Peace, peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate, of course. We're not going too far in the future. Oh, we're not going too far in the past. Oh, oh. Bring it back right now. Now's the vibrate, of course. Want to speak on crystals, especially like red or orange crystals, that may overly stimulate, you know, overly stimulate your lower chakras and just overly stimulate you in general. Think about garnet, and I just did a video on garnet, but for myself, me working with ruby, also I'm working with ruby and orange kyanite, and not just with this aspect in general, with the analogy of, again, as above, so below, you know, we are walking water bags, 70% water. Matter of fact, that's why when we think about like the lunar cycles, the lunar cycles, affecting the oceans, affecting the ebb and flow of the waves in the ocean. So as above, so below, if we walk in water bags, that same lunar energy is going to have some type of effect on the water inside of us as well. But also, not just dealing with, just the moon in general, but just nighttime. I realized, like, as nightfall, and I done talked about this too, like, where I've been, like, dealing with psychedelics. Matter of fact, in more cases out there in Venice. And, with that switch in between, like, you could feel the switch between day and night, literally. Like, it's like that, you know, then it's just like it get cold and dark, and it's like, what I'm saying? It's like, and nothing, no bad or good, you just feel the polarities of these different two energies. But within my own experience, I realized, like, say for instance, when I'm fasting and being healthy most of the day, that becomes harder and harder to maintain and be disciplined about when nightfall comes, and what I call the vision of, like, when it's nighttime, and within your body, that's when it's like, in the depths of the ocean, those little different types of fish and organisms that look all strange, like those monsters start floating in the water at nighttime. And those monsters have an appetite, what I'm saying, that's different from the the different monsters, quote unquote, that's floating in the water during the daytime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the sharks and the whales and different monsters that's mostly thrive in the daytime than at night. Which, again, just analogy of this situation, because really they both occupying the ocean at once. The other one's just, way, way deeper in the ocean, so deep that the sunlight never peers down there. They like in those depths where they ain't even nowhere close for sunlight to even, affect the water. So they're always in that darkness. But, you see the analogy, it's like those little anglerfish with the little light hanging in front of his face, like off of SpongeBob. Those animals start to moving around. But just realizing the connection and correlation with crystals, again, especially red or orange crystals, when worn above the waist. You, like, during nighttime, you might want to take off any jewelry, like if you got any type of chain or something of that nature that has, like, red crystals, without any other crystals to provide some type of balance. But if it got like a lot of red or orange crystals, these crystals may, overstimulate the root and sacral chakra. So that could whether it make you like over sexual, like it basically like indulgence, like it'll have you in that overindulgence vibe, where like now you want to just eat something just to eat it, because it's gonna taste a certain way, and now you want to have sex just to have, like, not say just to have it, but in essence, what I'm saying, you kind of like, you're more stimulated to, matter of fact, one of the aspects of what it is, The first chakra being excessively spinning, egotistic, domineering, greedy, addicted to wealth, and on a sexual side is indiscriminate, focuses entirely genital, nervous sexual energy, and may be sadistic. Now, for the sacral chakra, excessive energy, emotionally explosive, aggressive, overly ambitious, manipulative, caught up in delusion, overindulgent, self-serving. So matter of fact, in these, like that's what's really gonna get stimulated with these red and orange crystals. Again. So if you find yourself falling into a place of like, you know, uh, overly emotional, aggressive, overly ambitious, you know what I'm saying? Like a little in which all of these things won't show in that essence, you know what I'm saying? More so is gonna be just dealing with the area of overindulgence, As a matter of fact, on a sexual level, you're obsessed with the thoughts of sex. You see people of the opposite sex exclusively as sex objects and require frequent sexual gratification, you know. But yeah, just be aware, like if you're wearing any type of, again, sacral chakra, root chakra crystals, whether it be I can't think of anything just red and orange, to be honest with you. Of course some of them are a little stronger than others, but any red or orange crystals being worn above the waist, you know what I'm saying? You want to be aware that, especially when nightfall hits, that it may provoke or overly stimulate, where you, matter of fact, like you looking to endure like nighttime fall and all of a sudden you don't mind having a little drink, although and ain't nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? But, some of us know that once we open the little door, you know what I'm saying, we open the door where the banana peels at. It's room for us to slip and fall, you know what I'm saying? But uh, of course, not being scared and having awareness at the same time, of course. But again, you know these crystals can overstimulate if worn over the waist, and I've seen it happen in my own experience. So that's why I'm speaking and sharing. When it gets to a certain point at night where I take off my little ruby and orange kyanite. Matter of fact, 'cause that's a double combination of, you know what I'm saying, stimulating that sacral root chakra area, you know what I'm saying? And it could become very overstimulating. So I just want to be aware of that, you know, because that definitely, again, I seen the influence within my own experience, and I knew it was something to share because it came way out of left field. For some reason, I was just looking at, not say for some reason, I was just checking out my chakra book, making sure things was, you know, all in balance. And then I remember seeing something about Garnett and it cautioning people about it overstimulating, and I'm like, oh shoot, that is true. I don't experience that, so let me share. But yeah, like the old, and I done made jokes about that too, and did videos about like with the sex energy, like we replace a lot of our sexual activities with like a lot of overeating or eating stimulation. Like them good tasting foods, it's like that's providing a certain type of stimulation that's not being provided because we're not having sex in essence. So you be aware of those situations, because like overeating is always trying to compensate for some type of energy deficiency or some type of emotional imbalance, something of that nature, you know. So being aware of that, but that's basically it. Peace, peace. Happy now. Now the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace, peace.